analysis. So here are the team members um, of our team, and we'll commence through the introduction to the assignment. First, in the introduction part, the first step was to select the data set, and we selected the supermarket sales from the given website, Kaggle website. So here we can see and almost around 17 variables such as invoice ID, branch, city, customer type, and as well as the gross income, cost of goods sold. So there are both categorical variables as numerical variables. So we can do both qualitative analysis and both the quantitative analysis. So moving to the next slide, you can see how we have explored the data. First, we have selected categorical data, and to describe the categorical data, we have used graphical analysis. So first you can see how the gender is displayed. Gender distribution is you can see through this graph both female members and male members. We can see the majority customers are female, and it's around 501, and the male customers are 499, but there's no any major difference between them. So in the next graph you can see the cities that the data set has been used. So there are three cities like Yangon, Naypyidaw, and Mandalay, and almost in three cities there are the same number of distribution, almost around 33 percentage. So moving to the next slide, we can see how the customer type is distributed among this data set. There are two kind of customers such as members and normal customers. It's almost the majority customers are members, and while the normal customers are around 499. When it's come to the product lines, there are about 6 product lines, and majority of the customers prefer fashion accessories, and the least number of customers prefer health and beauty, and the same amount, around 170, is preferred for the electronic accessories and food and beverages. So in the next slide, the last categorical data we have analysis through the graphs, we can see the payment type of the customers. There are three major payment types such as credit card, cash, and e-wallet. As you can see in this graph, most of the customers prefer e-wallet, and they are about 345, but the same number of customers prefer cash as well, because the cash preferred customers are around 344. The least number of customers prefer credit cards. So next we'll move on to the outliers of the um, this day's data. So first we have the unit price outliers. Its average value is 555.21, and here we have identified that there is no such deviation from the average mark. So the next outlier is quantity. This box plot is also same. It's around the average line. So the average line is 5, and we have one outlier below the average. It's 1, and in the next outlier, we can see the tax amount, and here we have some deviations from the average line. The average is 12, and there are some high taxes as well as low taxes. The last one, no, the next slide you can see how the outlier for the total cost. It's also somewhat deviated from the average. So we'll move on to the next presenter to give the more explanation about the outliers and so on. Thank you.
So for the outlier for the COGS, as we can see, the mean is 307.58, but for the average is 241.76, And moving on to the gross income that we can see in the for the mean is 15.37, and for the median is 12.088, and the maximum is gonna be 49.49. And the last of the list of the outline for the rating of the data for the rating is we can see the mean is 697, and for the median is gonna be 7, and the maximum of the data is 10. So right now moving on to the task selections. For the task selections, provides the use the task we perform the ligations analysis. Use the model multiple linear ligations. Objective of the analysis is to predict the total amount spent using the various features such as unit price, quantities, customer type, and payment method, and so on. So for the various ligations analysis, so here we identify the key variables used in our ligations analysis. The dependent variables in our model is the total cost, but independent variables is the unit price, gross income, and quality, and the rating. These the variables where the chosen based on their potential impact on the total cost, and there are variables in the data set. So moving on to the relationship of the unit price and the totals. This slide is illustrate the relationship between unit price and total cost, as show there is a positive correlations, indicating that as the unit price increased, the total cost also trend to less. This variable was identified as one of the most significant predictors in our ligation models. Moving on to the relationship of the quantities and the total cost. This slide show is the relationship with the total cost. We observe that the quality of the item purchased also the positively impact the total cost, but the relationship is less pronounced compared to the unit price. Understanding this relationship help us to better predict customer spending pattern. So moving on to the relationship of the gross income and total cost, Shamila's gonna explain about this.
Hi everyone, thank you Nadia. I'll explain the relationship between gross income and total cost. As we can see, this graph shows the relationship between gross income and total costs. We can see that there's a weak correlation between gross income and total cost. For insights, we can think about focus on profit margin optimizations. Since gross income does not significantly impact on the total cost, the supermarket should focus on optimizing profit margins for different product categories. And also, we can focus on product mix strategy. We can adjust the product mix to include more high margin items, could indirectly enhance gross income. Loyalty programs, here we can consider introducing loyalty programs that reward customers based on gross income contribution rather than just total spendings. Next slide, please. On this slide, we can examine the relationship between customer rating and total cost. Our analysis shows that there's a very weak correlation between these two variables. Customer rating represent the satisfaction level of customers. Usually, on a scale of 1 to 10, we might expect that higher satisfaction ratings could lead to increased spending. Here are some insights. One is long-term value satisfaction. Although the direct impact on total cost is minimal, maintaining high customer satisfaction is critical for repeat business, customer loyalty, and word of mouth referrals. And then improvement opportunities, we can use these ratings to identify areas for improvement in the shopping experience. Therefore, while customer ratings may not directly influence the total cost, in short term, they play a crucial role in building a strong and loyalty customer base. Moving to our next slide. This slide shows the regression analysis. Let's see how we can run the regression analysis. First of all, we have to copy the necessary columns from main Excel spreadsheet into new sheet. Uh, Here we choose our independent variable as a total cost and our independent variables as unit price, quantity, gross income, and rating. As a second step, we analysis of open data analysis tool and select regression in the data analysis dialog box. And then we establish and choose the range for input and output. Then we run the regression by clicking OK button. Next slide, please. As you can see, this is the regression analysis equation. Now let's dive into the regression analysis we conducted to get better understanding how different variables influence the total cost. We used a multiple linear regression model. This in this equation where unit price in UP, it's the price per unit of product purchase. A quantity means Q shows the number of units purchased by a customer. GI, it means gross income, the profit generated from the sale before expenses. And RTG means rating, the customer satisfaction rating on scale of 1 to 10. So my rest of the part will discuss by Susil. It's over to you, Susil. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So my next part is about the interpretation of the results. As you can see, there are multiple R1, R square 1, and significance O. So multiple R defines the perfect relationship between the variables. Likewise, R square defines the godness of fit, as it is 100% fit. But we can raise the concern about the overall outfitting, as the data is very comparatively small, I think. So there are no outliers. So we can raise the concern about the overfitting of the data, and it is also significance of the data. So moving to the next slide, can you? So discussion part. So as you can see, we run the regression analysis, find out that unit price is the dominating factor here. So as unit price directly influence the total cost of the business, other factor does not dominate as like the unit price. The other variables is not so significant here. So the main focus is about the business should focus on the pricing strategy, which will, I think, decreases the total cost and increase revenue and sales. So moving towards the next slide, please. So conclusion. So conclusion, we can see the regression model find out that the unit price is the most significant factor in determining the total cost of the business. The other variable like quantity, gross income, ratings shows the negligible effects to the cost of the business, as you can see. So they also do the effect, but their effects are so negligible in compared to unit price. So business should formulate different types of policy regarding the price. Yes, pricing strategies, and it should be focused on other external factors like currency fluctuations and inflations too, which can help in increase or decreasing the cost of the business, and probably which can increase the sales and revenue of the business. As the model perfectly fit, as I can say that it shows it is perfectly fit because the value of required R or R square is 1. We can look into other data to check the validation of which will give the proper validation too. So from the conclusion, we can say that any change in the price of the goods or services directly influence the total cost of the business. So we should focus on supplier negotiation too. So other factor which can increase the cost, and we should be main focused on pricing strategies. So thank you. So this is our conclusion of the regression analysis. So these are the references that you take help from formulating and writing all of those things. And now I think we can finish it. Thank you, everyone. Okay, then I will just stop. Can I stop the recording?
Yes.
More record. Stop recording.